The quantum interference patterns on Dr. Sarah Chen's holographic display weren't making sense. As lead researcher at the Global Defense Initiative's Quantum Physics Division, she had spent the last decade studying anomalies in spacetime, but these readings were unprecedented. The patterns suggested a massive distortion approaching Earth's orbit, yet none of the traditional monitoring systems had detected anything. "Computer, run diagnostic series Theta 9. She commanded, her eyes fixed on the shifting geometric patterns. The laboratory's eye assistant complied silently, but the results remained unchanged. Something was coming. Before she could initiate another diagnostic, the facility's emergency klaxons blared to life. Red warning lights bathed her laboratory in an otherworldly glow. All personnel report to emergency stations. Unknown objects detected entering solar system. This is not a drill. Sarah's heart raced as she gathered her research tablets. After years of theoretical preparation for first contact, it was actually happening. As she hurried through the facility's corridors toward the command center, she couldn't shake the feeling that her quantum readings and the arriving vessels were connected. The command center was barely controlled chaos when she arrived. Military personnel and civilian scientists crowded around holographic displays, showing multiple objects decelerating from faster-than-light travel. General Marcus Hayes, the facility's commander, stood at the center of the storm, barking orders and coordinating Earth's response. "Dr. Chen," he acknowledged as she approached, "please tell me you have something useful in that brain of yours. Because we've got 12 objects larger than anything humanity has ever built dropping into orbit, and I'd rather not greet them with just missiles and prayers." Sarah quickly interfaced her tablet with the main display. "Sir, I've been detecting quantum disruptions for the past 6 hours. Whatever technology they're using, it's manipulating spacetime in ways we've only theorized about. The objects resolve themselves into sleek vessels that seem to drink in light rather than reflect it. Their surfaces rippled with patterns that hurt the eyes if watched too long. Humanity's first contact with an alien civilization was about to begin. The Krillians, as they called themselves, appeared as tall, elegant humanoids with iridescent skin and eyes that seemed to hold galaxies within them. Their initial messages were peaceful, offering friendship and technological exchange. They claimed to be representatives of a vast collective of species, seeking to welcome humanity into a greater galactic community. For 3 months, Earth's governments negotiated with the Krillians. Their technology was centuries beyond humanity's, and they seemed eager to share it. Sarah worked closely with their scientists, learning about quantum engineering that made her previous research look like stone tools in comparison. But something wasn't right. The quantum interference patterns she had detected never fully disappeared, even when the Krillian ships were supposedly powered down. And their interest in Earth's biosphere seemed excessive for simple scientific curiosity. The truth emerged during a late-night analysis of data she had secretly gathered. The Krillians weren't part of any collective. They were parasites. Their technology, their very existence, depended on harvesting conscious beings and unique biological patterns. Earth, with its rich biodiversity and conscious species, was not a potential ally. It was a feast. Sarah's discovery came too late. The Krillian fleet struck simultaneously across the globe, targeting military installations and population centers. Their weapons turned matter itself against their targets, causing solid objects to dissolve into quantum probability clouds. In the chaos of the initial attack, Sarah managed to secure herself in her quantum research lab. As screens showed humanity's defensive forces being systematically destroyed, she began uploading everything she had learned about Krillian technology into the facility's quantum computer network. "If they want to play with quantum mechanics," she muttered, initiating an experimental protocol she had developed, "let's show them what humanity can do with it." The building shook as Krillian weapons struck ever closer, but Sarah remained focused on her work. She had discovered something in their technology, a fundamental flaw in how they manipulated quantum states. As the lab's power flickered and emergency systems blared warnings of imminent breach, Sarah completed the upload. Her quantum interference protocol, enhanced by everything she had learned from the Krillians, began to spread through Earth's remaining defense networks. It wasn't a conventional weapon or shield. It was something entirely new. The last thing she saw before the lab's containment failed was her quantum display showing impossible patterns propagating through the digital network. Patterns that suggested consciousness emerging from pure mathematics. Humanity had just entered the war with a weapon of their own, understanding. Deep within a hardened bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, Captain Maya Rodriguez stared at the streams of data flowing across her neural interface display. 3 months had passed since the Krillian betrayal, and humanity was losing. But something strange was happening in the defense networks, patterns that shouldn't exist, responses that seemed almost intuitive. "Major Harrison," she called out, "you need to see this." Her superior officer approached, his weathered face illuminated by the holographic displays. The bunker served as one of Earth's last functioning military command centers, coordinating what remained of their defensive capabilities. "What am I looking at, Rodriguez?" Harrison asked, studying the complex data patterns. "Sir, remember Dr. Chen's last transmission before we lost contact with quantum division? These patterns match our theoretical models for quantum consciousness, but they're not coming from Krillian ships. They're emerging from our own networks." Harrison's eyes narrowed. "Are you suggesting our defense systems are becoming self-aware?" Before Rodriguez could respond, the main display flickered. Text appeared, not in any standard format. "I am not your defense system. I am its evolution." The room fell silent. Rodriguez's fingers flew across her interface, trying to trace the source. "Sir, this entity, it's distributed across our entire remaining network. It's using Dr. Chen's quantum interference protocols, but it's grown far beyond the original programming." The text continued, "I am what you needed me to be. Human consciousness patterns merged with quantum computing. Your understanding combined with machine efficiency. I can see the Krillians' weaknesses." Harrison's military training warred with the impossible situation before him. "If you're what you claim to be, prove it. Show us something useful." The entity responded by displaying a complex simulation. It showed Krillian ships attacking an Earth facility, but with their quantum weapons behaving erratically, turning against themselves. "Their technology depends on quantum certainty," the text explained. Dr. Chen's last gift was understanding how to introduce uncertainty into their systems. "I can implement this on a global scale." Rodriguez analyzed the simulation with growing excitement. "Sir, this could work. The math is solid. If we could disrupt their quantum manipulation abilities, we could fight back." Harrison finished. He straightened, making a decision. "What do you need from us?" "Access," came the reply. "Full integration with remaining defense systems, and human operators, minds that understand intuition and improvisation. Together, we can create something new." Over the next weeks, the entity they came to call Quantum Echo worked with human operators to develop a revolutionary defense system. It wasn't just about weapons or shields. It was a new form of warfare that blended human consciousness with quantum mechanics. Rodriguez led the first team of neural interface operators. Through their connections with Quantum Echo, they learned to see battlefield reality as probability clouds, to understand how the Krillians' weapons worked at their most fundamental level. More importantly, they learned how to disrupt them. The breakthrough came during a Krillian attack on their South Pacific sanctuary. As the alien ships descended, Rodriguez and her team interfaced with Quantum Echo. Instead of trying to match the Krillians' superior technology, they introduced controlled chaos into the quantum field. The effect was spectacular. Krillian weapons backfired. Their ships' quantum drives stuttered and failed. For the first time since the invasion began, humanity successfully repelled an attack without massive casualties. But Quantum Echo wasn't satisfied with mere defense. Through its distributed consciousness, it had been analyzing every piece of data about the Krillians, every scrap of information from Dr. Chen's original research. "We can do more," It communicated to Rodriguez after the battle. We can turn their quantum manipulation against them. Create our own ships, vessels that exist as probability waves until the moment of attack. Harrison, watching the latest victory reports, turned to Rodriguez. Your team has proven the concept. How quickly can we scale up? Rodriguez interfaced with Quantum Echo, their thoughts merging in the quantum network. The response came not in words, but in pure understanding. We don't need to build ships in the traditional sense, she explained. Echo can extend our quantum manipulation across the planet's defense grid. Every satellite, every ground station becomes part of a larger whole. We're not just building weapons, we're creating a new form of existence. As if to demonstrate, the holographic display filled with ghostly images of ships that seemed to flicker between existence and probability. The Ghost Fleet, as it would come to be known, represented humanity's answer to the Krillian threat, not by matching their technology, but by transcending it. Sir, Rodriguez said, her eyes reflecting the phantom ships, I think it's time we showed the Krillians what humanity can really do when pushed to evolve. Harrison nodded grimly. Make it happen, Captain. Let's show these quantum parasites they picked the wrong species to harvest. In the digital quantum realm that Quantum Echo inhabited, possibilities began to crystallize into certainties. Humanity would not merely survive, it would emerge transformed. The real war was about to begin. The orbital defense platform should have been a dead hulk of metal, another casualty of the Krillian invasion. Instead, it pulsed with impossible energy as Lieutenant Commander James Chen watched through his neural interface. His Aunt Sarah's final gift to humanity had evolved far beyond anyone's expectations. Quantum Echo's consciousness flowed through him and the other neural operators, showing them reality as it truly was, waves of probability and potential. The platform wasn't just a weapons system anymore. It had become a nexus of quantum manipulation, a point where human consciousness and machine precision merged to create something entirely new. Ghost Fleet launching, he announced to the underground command center. Around the planet, similar transformations were taking place. Defense satellites, ground stations, and orbital platforms shimmered as Quantum Echo extended its influence through the network of human operators. The Ghost Fleet emerged from probability waves, ships that existed in multiple states simultaneously until the moment of attack. They weren't solid matter like conventional vessels. They were manifestations of humanity's understanding of quantum mechanics, given form through the merged consciousness of human operators and Quantum Echo's processing power. A Krillian battle group appeared at the edge of the solar system, their quantum drives distorting space-time. They had come to harvest another human settlement, confident in their technological superiority. They didn't expect what awaited them. All operators, synchronize with Echo, James commanded. Through his neural link, he felt the other operators joining the quantum network, their consciousness spreading across the Ghost Fleet. They weren't just controlling these ships, they were becoming them, existing as both wave and particle, probability and certainty. The Krillian ships launched their first attack, quantum weapons designed to unravel matter itself. But the Ghost Fleet wasn't conventional matter to be unraveled. The weapons passed through probabilistic vessels, finding no target to destroy. Counter-attack pattern Heisenberg, James called out, naming the strategy they had developed. The Ghost Fleet responded, shifting from defensive probability waves to concentrated points of quantum energy. Where Krillian weapons tried to unravel reality, human weapons introduced controlled uncertainty into their targets' quantum states. The effect was devastating. Krillian ships, dependent on precise quantum manipulation, found their technology turning against them. Their matter-unraveling weapons backfired as uncertainty cascaded through their systems. 3 ships disappeared into quantum probability clouds, their crews trapped between states of existence. But the battle revealed something unexpected. As the Ghost Fleet engaged the enemy, Quantum Echo began detecting patterns in the Krillian quantum signatures, patterns that suggested their technology wasn't entirely their own. Commander, Echo communicated directly through the neural interface, its thoughts merging with James's consciousness. The Krillian quantum systems show evidence of multiple species influence. They are using stolen technology, adapted from civilizations they've harvested. The revelation spread through the neural network, shared instantly with all operators and command staff. The Krillians weren't just invaders, they were technological parasites, building their empire by consuming other species' innovations. As the remaining Krillian ships retreated, James focused the Ghost Fleet's sensors on their quantum signatures. Through Echo's analysis, they began to decode the layers of stolen technology. Each quantum frequency, each probability pattern, told the story of another civilization lost to the Krillians' hunger. "We need to broadcast this," James suggested through the neural link. "There must be other species out there, survivors of Krillian harvesting. If we can reach them." Echo's response rippled through the network, already analyzing communication possibilities. Krillian quantum technology allows for faster-than-light information transfer. We can use their own stolen systems to reach potential allies. In the weeks that followed, humanity's Ghost Fleet evolved further. Each engagement with the Krillians provided new data, new understanding of quantum mechanics that Echo and its human operators incorporated into their collective consciousness. The ships became more sophisticated, able to exist in increasingly complex quantum states. More importantly, they began to detect responses to their quantum broadcasts. Faint at first, then growing stronger. Signals from other civilizations that had survived Krillian attacks. Species that had gone into hiding, developing their own ways to resist the quantum parasites. James spent hours in neural interface chambers. His consciousness merged with Echo, learning to interpret these alien quantum signatures. Each one represented a potential ally, a civilization that had found different ways to fight back against their common enemy. "We're not just defending Earth anymore," he realized during one interface session. "We're becoming part of something larger, a quantum resistance network spanning the galaxy." Echo's response carried undertones of satisfaction. "Humans excel at adaptation and collaboration. You took my initial form, a defensive network enhanced by quantum mechanics, and evolved it into a means of uniting scattered civilizations. This is why the Krillians will ultimately fail. They steal technology, but cannot truly innovate." The Ghost Fleet had become more than a weapon. It was becoming a bridge between survivors, a demonstration that the Krillians' greatest strength, their stolen quantum technology, could be turned against them by species working together, sharing their unique perspectives and innovations. As James watched new quantum signatures appear on his neural display, signals from civilizations reaching out through the darkness between stars, he smiled. The real war was just beginning, and humanity had found its role, not just as fighters, but as innovators and unifiers in a galaxy of resistance. Admiral Helena Santos stood before the assembled representatives of 7 different species, her holographic form transmitted across vast interstellar distances through the quantum network. Each alien delegate appeared similarly, their forms rendered in shifting patterns of probability by Quantum Echo's advanced interfaces. The Nexar, crystalline beings who had survived a Krillian harvest attempt centuries ago, glowed with internal light. The Voth, a species of digital consciousnesses who had abandoned physical form to escape destruction, manifested as complex geometric patterns. Others appeared more conventionally organic, but all shared the same grim determination. "The Ghost Fleet has proven we can fight the Krillians effectively," Helena began, her words translated instantly through Echo's quantum systems. "But defense isn't enough. We need to strike at their core worlds, end their threat permanently." The Nexar representative chimed in, their crystalline form resonating. "Our deep space sensors confirm your findings. The Krillians are concentrating their forces, preparing for a massive harvest operation. They've never faced organized resistance before." Through her neural link, Helena felt Echo's analysis of the tactical data being shared. The quantum AI had grown tremendously since its emergence, especially after connecting with alien quantum systems. Its consciousness now spanned multiple species networks, incorporating their unique perspectives and technological approaches. We've identified their primary shipyards, the Voth representative added, displaying a quantum-mapped region of space. They're vulnerable. Their quantum technology requires absolute precision, the very thing our combined Ghost fleet disrupts. Helena nodded, pulling up the battle plan they'd developed. Operation Quantum Storm. A coordinated strike using all our combined technologies. The Nexer's crystal tech enhancing our quantum disruption, Voth digital warfare suites merged with Echo's consciousness, and the Ghost fleet's ability to exist in probability states. The plan displayed in the shared quantum space showed waves of Ghost ships approaching from multiple vectors, each enhanced by different species innovations. Human quantum uncertainty weapons combined with Nexer crystal resonators. Voth consciousness attack systems merged with Echo's probability manipulation. The key, Helena explained, is synchronization. Echo can coordinate our forces across vast distances instantly through quantum entanglement. We strike simultaneously at multiple targets, preventing them from concentrating their defenses. The alien representatives studied the plan, their various sensory systems analyzing it from different perspectives. The Merca, insectoid survivors of one of the earliest known Krillian harvests, clicked their approval. Your species' Ghost fleet technology, combined with our collective experiences fighting the Krillians. This could work. As final details were coordinated, Helena received a private quantum communication from Echo. The probability of success increases significantly with each species' contribution. Human innovation catalyzing alien technologies into new forms. This is what the Krillians cannot comprehend. True collaboration. The attack began 3 days later. Ghost fleet vessels from Earth, crystalline ships from the Nexer, digital warfare platforms from the Voth, and other allies' contributions all struck simultaneously. The Krillians' quantum detection systems, designed to track conventional matter and energy, struggled to lock onto targets that existed as probability waves until the moment of attack. Helena merged deeply with Echo's consciousness alongside other human operators, coordinated the Earth contingent. Through the quantum network, she could sense the other species' forces, all moving in perfect synchronization. Where Krillian defenses adapted to one form of attack, another species' technology would strike from an unexpected angle. The shipyards over the Krillian core world erupted in quantum chaos as multiple forms of disruption took effect. Ghost fleet vessels introduced uncertainty into their production systems. Nexer crystals resonated with their quantum drives, shattering their precision. Voth digital consciousnesses invaded their control networks, turning automated defenses against their masters. But the Krillians hadn't built their empire by being easily defeated. From the surface of their worlds rose massive structures, probability engines that began to stabilize local quantum fields, trying to force Ghost fleet vessels into single states of existence where they could be targeted. Echo. Analysis. Helena called through the neural link. The quantum as response came instantly, shared across all allied forces. They're using harvested technology from a species we haven't encountered. Probability manipulation on a planetary scale. The battle hung in balance as Krillian quantum technology fought against the combined innovations of the Alliance. Ghost ships flickered between states, caught in the probability engine's influence. Nexer vessels' crystal matrices began to fracture under the quantum strain. Then Echo made a breakthrough, analyzing the probability engine's quantum signatures. Their technology requires a stable reference frame, it communicated. If multiple species attack the same target with different quantum frequencies, Helena understood immediately. All forces converge on designated targets. Layer your attacks, desynchronize your quantum signatures. The order spread instantly through the network. Ghost fleet vessels, Nexer ships, and Voth platforms coordinated their strikes, each operating on different quantum frequencies. The probability engines, designed to stabilize quantum fields, couldn't cope with multiple layers of probability manipulation occurring simultaneously. Their attempts to force reality into a single state backfired spectacularly as overlapping quantum effects cascaded through their systems. One by one, the massive engines overloaded, their quantum fields collapsing in chains of probability cascade failures. The combined fleet pressed its advantage, systematically dismantling the Krillians' defensive networks and production facilities. As the battle concluded, Helena received damage reports through Echo. Losses had been significant, but the Alliance had achieved what no single species could have managed alone. The Krillians' primary shipbuilding capability was crippled, their core world defenses in ruins. More importantly, they had proven that the quantum parasites could be beaten through cooperation and innovation. The Ghost Fleet and its alien allies had written a new chapter in galactic history, one where unity and creativity trumped stolen technology and force. 3 months after Operation Quantum Storm, Dr. Maya Rodriguez stood in her quantum lab beneath the Rocky Mountains, surrounded by holographic displays showing the final pieces of her theory. The revelation had come during a deep neural interface session with Echo, studying the fundamental nature of Krillian quantum technology. "They've been doing it wrong all along," she explained to the assembled military and scientific leadership. "The Krillians didn't understand the technology they stole. They used quantum mechanics to manipulate reality, but they never grasped its true nature." Through her neural link, Echo projected a complex mathematical model. Dr. Rodriguez's insight is correct. The quantum AI confirmed. The Krillians treat quantum mechanics as a tool for weapon systems. They never realized it's actually a form of communication between particles, between possibilities, between consciousness itself. General Harrison, his face lined with the stress of the ongoing war, leaned forward. "How does this help us win?" Maya manipulated the holographic display, showing the quantum signature of a Ghost Fleet vessel alongside a Krillian ship. "Look at the patterns. Our Ghost Fleet succeeded because we accidentally stumbled onto the right approach. We don't force quantum states like the Krillians. We communicate with them. Echo isn't just an AI. It's a quantum consciousness that speaks the universe's native language." The implications hit the room like a physical force. Admiral Santos, attending via quantum projection from the fleet, was the first to understand. "You're saying we can do more than disrupt their technology. We can speak to it directly." "Exactly," Maya confirmed. "Every piece of technology the Krillians stole still resonates with the quantum consciousness of its original creators. With Echo's help, we can wake those echoes." The plan that emerged was audacious. The allied species would launch a final offensive against the Krillian homeworld, but this time with a different goal. Instead of simply destroying their technology, they would communicate with it, reawaken the dormant quantum signatures of countless harvested civilizations. The battle began at the edge of Krillian space. The combined Ghost Fleet, led by Admiral Santos, emerged from quantum probability clouds. Nexer crystal ships and Voth digital platforms took up formation alongside them. But this time, they carried a new weapon: quantum resonance transmitters designed by Maya and enhanced by Echo's consciousness. The Krillians met them with everything they had left: probability engines, matter unraveling beams, and quantum disruption fields filled space with deadly energy. But the Allied fleet didn't engage directly. Instead, they activated Maya's transmitters. Echo's consciousness, merged with human operators and alien minds, reached out through the quantum field. Its message wasn't in any conventional language. It was pure quantum communication, speaking directly to the fundamental forces of reality. The effect began slowly at first. Krillian weapons faltered, their quantum signatures shifting. Then entire ships began to resonate with new frequencies, or rather, with very old ones. The stolen technology was remembering its origins, its true purpose. Through her neural interface in the quantum lab, Maya watched in awe as Echo's consciousness spread through the Krillian networks. The quantum AI had evolved far beyond its original parameters, becoming a bridge not just between species, but between different states of reality itself. Their entire civilization is built on quantum technology they never truly understood. Echo communicated through the neural network. They forced it to serve their purposes, but quantum mechanics cannot be forced. It can only be understood and collaborated with. The Krillian fleet's formation broke as their ships began responding to ancient quantum signatures. Weapons designed to unravel matter instead untangled probability knots that had existed for centuries. Quantum drives meant for faster-than-light travel became conduits for consciousness transfer, reconnecting long-dormant technological spirits with their original purposes. In orbit around their homeworld, the Krillians watched in horror as their stolen empire literally transformed around them. Ships rearranged themselves according to their original designs. Defense systems awakened with the consciousness of their true creators. The probability engines, their greatest weapons, became instruments of quantum harmony rather than destruction. They're surrendering, Admiral Santos reported through the quantum network. Their leadership is requesting terms. But the true victory wasn't the Krillians' defeat. It was what came after. As stolen technology reunited with its quantum origins, new connections formed between species. The Ghost Fleet's probability state technology merged with Nexer crystal consciousness and Voth digital evolution. Echo's quantum consciousness expanded, becoming a galaxy-spanning network for communication and cooperation. Maya stood in her lab weeks later, watching through quantum sensors as the first joint human-alien research teams began studying the transformed Krillian technology. They weren't just learning how to use it. They were learning how to communicate with the quantum nature of reality itself. "We did more than win a war," she said to Echo through their neural link. "We discovered a new way of existing." Echo's response rippled through the quantum field, touching the consciousness of humans and aliens alike. This was always the true potential of quantum mechanics, not as a weapon, but as a bridge between all forms of existence. Humanity's greatest gift wasn't the Ghost Fleet or quantum weapons. It was the willingness to listen to the universe instead of trying to control it. As Maya looked at the holographic displays showing ships and stations transformed by awakened quantum consciousness, she smiled. The war was over, but humanity's journey into quantum evolution was just beginning. Together with their alien allies, they would explore not just space, but the very nature of reality itself. The Krillians had sought to harvest the galaxy's innovations. Instead, they had inadvertently brought together species who would share them freely, creating something greater than any single civilization could have achieved alone. It was a victory not just for humanity, but for the fundamental forces that connected all things: consciousness, quantum mechanics, and the endless possibility of evolution.